Hey, what's up? After seeing what happened Money in the Bank happen, I sat down and thought about where they were going to take the story from here. Um, what I did, I'll admit, I enjoyed the Raw. It wasn't the best follow-up Raw, obviously, but there's not much that can be done after a show like that. And I mean, I was happy enough with it, but since then. I'm not really sure they've done the best with what they could have, what they've got. So I sat down and thought to myself, how would I have booked CM Punk after Money in the Bank? And basically this storyline is it's going to be a long one, and it's going to run all the way from after Money in the Bank all the way through to WrestleMania, and that's where it's going to culminate effectively. So we pick up um, the night after Money in the Bank, the Raw after Money in the Bank. And rather than have Vince McMahon come out and say that we're going to crown a new WWE champion, then you've got your WWE champion, you've got CM Punk, who believes he's the true WWE champion, and you've got your World Heavyweight champion. You've got three top champions. What is the point? I don't see the point. It just confuses things even more so. I would have Christian come out with a World Heavyweight title, and I'd have Vince McMahon declare that Christian is now the undisputed World Heavyweight Champion. As far as the closing segment goes, the last segment with Triple H, Vince McMahon being fired and Triple H taking over active duties or whatever, that's all fine with me. I'm not really going to go into too many details here with the whole thing because I'm doing it month by month here, because I feel like with CM Punk not being there, you don't have to go through show by show. Just give a sort of brief outline. I'm going to give a brief outline of what I would do, sort of building up to CM Punk's return. The SmackDown after Money in the Bank, I'd have Randy Orton attack Christian, and I'd have Randy Orton go to Punk Christian, but Christian would get away. And immediately after that, I would make it official. The main event of SummerSlam is a street fight for the World Heavyweight title, Randy Orton versus Christian. Get this done with, out of the way, so we can move forward. Also, at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam even, I'd have two other matches. One of which I believe is actually going to happen, Miz versus Rey Mysterio, and I'd have Del Rio versus John Cena. The rest of the card doesn't really matter. I'm focusing on the main event scene. Miz would go over Rey Mysterio, and since Rey's not getting a reaction at the minute, I would play Rey off as a bit of a heel. He would play heel in this match, and Miz would play face. And I try and use this match as a way of turning Mysterio heel and turning Miz face. Miz is popular with the fans. I think Raw lacks faces at the minute, other than John Cena and Rey Mysterio. I can't really think of any main event faces, really viable main event faces, because I don't see Kofi Kingston as a viable main eventer, other than those two. So, and Rey's not getting crowd reaction, and John Cena is John Cena. So, in the other Alberto Del Rio versus John Cena, Alberto Del Rio would go over. He'd beat John Cena, and Del Rio would make John Cena tap out. And after the match, Del Rio will not relinquish the hold, and he'll kayfabe injure John Cena's arm, which takes John Cena off TV for a bit. Rumour has it that he's got a lot of aches and pains about him, so he's got a few injuries. I'd give him a couple of months just to sort of heal himself up, make sure he's fit and ready for WrestleMania, because I don't want to risk that main event. I mean, if that match is put in jeopardy, WWE there's going to be a really big backlash if that match doesn't happen. or that match is jeopardised in any way, and make sure that John Cena is fit and ready for that. So that would take John Cena out for a bit. And in the main event, the Undisputed, it's going by the title, the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship now. Christian defeats Randy Orton to retain the title. Simple, simple. Night after SummerSlam on Raw, Alberto Del Rio would come out, open the show, bragging about how he injured John Cena, how he took out the WWE's biggest star, and about how he is now, he's going to replace John Cena as the biggest star in the company. Triple H would come down, cut him off. He'd announced that Del Rio was set to, he was in line to become the #1 contender. He was set to challenge Christian at Night of Champions, but because of his actions, he is stripped of the #1 contendership. Del Rio would go a bit crazy. Sort of that sort of Del Rio's sort of build. Del Rio's up there, but he's sort of got that sort of being held back sort of thing. So I don't put him in jeopardy, but he's definitely up there. Later in the night, I'd have Christian a championship celebration, celebrating his huge victory at SummerSlam over Randy Orton. And The Miz would come out and he would attack Christian. And that sets up my Night of Champions main event, Christian versus The Miz. For Night of Champions, I'd also have Alberto Del Rio go against Jack Swagger, who I would turn face. Jack Swagger's another one I think needs to turn face. Should have turned face already after the whole Michael Cole thing. And at Night of Champions, I'd have Del Rio go over Jack Swagger, simple victory. I think those two would have a good match. And Christian would retain over Miz via cheating. So he cheats to get the win. Doesn't really matter how. Maybe he can nail him with a low blow. Miz goes for a skull crushing finale. Christian counters, nails a low blow, gets kill switch, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. But Christian cheats and beats the Miz. Between Night of Champions and Hell in a Cell, Miz would come out and he would say that he was screwed, he was cheated out of the match, and Triple H would agree with him. They would set a rematch up for Hell in a Cell inside of a Hell in a Cell. So you've got Christian versus Miz, two good solid workers who can work a good match in Hell in a Cell. I don't think the actual cell is going to come into play too much. Basically, Christian goes over the Miz. I'm not really. I'd keep Del Rio. I'd probably keep Del Rio in a program with Swagger. I might have them do a submission match. Ankle lock versus armbar. The armbar thing. I think that would probably culminate at Hell in a Cell as well. And most importantly here, I think most importantly after Hell in a Cell is John Cena returns for 10 times on Vengeance and is put into what is a fatal 4-way for the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Christian versus John Cena versus Cody Rhodes versus I don't know whoever. Just say for argument's sake, The Miz. Somebody who's a face. Just throw another face in there. Doesn't really matter who, because John Cena goes over, regains the title. Survivor Series, you have a rematch. Again, you'd have a rematch between John Cena and Christian. Christian Cassidy in this rematch. They would have a long match. They could have a good match, good 20-minute match. John Cena's exhausted at the end of the match, and Christian after that would attack him with a chair. And John Cena's sort of struggling to get up. Alberto Del Rio would come out. He would run in. He would cash in the Money in the Bank, and he would attack John Cena. The match, the bell would ring. It's official. He's cashed in. Del Rio would have the armbar locked in. CM Punk would come in through the crowd, attack Del Rio. Del Rio wins via disqualification. Does not win the title. That is huge. That is huge. You've got Alberto Del Rio cashed in his money in the bank. He's cashed it in, so it's gone. But he didn't lose. But he didn't win the title. So, yeah. And CM Punk, so I think that's a nice way of bringing Punk back. So, Del Rio wins that match by DQ. TLC. You have a final match between Christian and John Cena for the title. TLC, Christian's specialty. John Cena has history with Edge in the TLC match. That was a good match. This would be a good match as well. And I'd have a ladder match for a title shot between The Miz and Del Rio would win, setting up John Cena and Alberto Del Rio for the Royal Rumble. This time, Del Rio would go over. Del Rio would win the title off John Cena in a rematch from SummerSlam. Alberto Del Rio is the World Heavyweight Champion. Royal Rumble match. John Cena comes down as one of two surprise entrants. Having lost the title, he says he's gonna win the Royal Rumble. Basically, he's gonna win the Royal Rumble. Gonna get himself a title shot. Is he gonna do 2 matches at WrestleMania? Who knows? But it doesn't really matter because he doesn't win. The other surprise entrant wins. CM Punk. CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble. And I'd actually, instead of having The Rock come in at Survivor Series, I'd have The Rock come in at the Royal Rumble, and I'd have The Rock attack John Cena during the Royal Rumble match, and then I'd have Punk attack The Rock, hit him with a GTS, then dump Cena out of the ring, and win the Royal Rumble. At Elimination Chamber, Del Rio retains title in a chamber match, doesn't matter whose opponents are. I'd have a Battle of the Titans match between Randy Orton and John Cena, because I think they've been kept far apart for long enough now. We can bring them together and have a big match. I think that'd be a good match. I'd have CM Punk, basically, he'd come out and cut a promo. It would be built as CM Punk speaks, and you just build him up. Let him come out and talk for a bit. And then ultimately you've got your main event at WrestleMania 28. It's nice and simple. Royal Rumble, you can't deny Punk now. He came in as a surprise entrant at the Royal Rumble. You might not recognise the WWE title anymore, but he won the Royal Rumble, so he gets a shot. So you put both titles on the line. You put the WWE Championship up against the Undisputed World Heavyweight Championship, and you've got title versus title. You finally unify those titles. You have CM Punk go over. CM Punk is now the biggest star in your company. He won he won the WWE title, he won the Royal Rumble, and then he won the main event of WrestleMania. Won the Undisputed title at WrestleMania. What more can you ask for? Star is made. I did have the thought that maybe instead of Del Rio, and this is actually an idea that I'm still contemplating which one was better. The idea that instead of it being Del Rio that Punk faces, have it be The Undertaker, and have Punk and Undertaker streak to top all of that off as well. So you have CM Punk versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania, CM Punk ends the streak, and then again CM Punk is made. I think that might be a better idea, but I'm not sure if Undertaker will be able to work enough to get the title. I mean, he'd have to defend the title at the Elimination Chamber. That would be a given. And unless he wins the title in the Elimination Chamber, but then he's still got to be in an Elimination Chamber match, so either way, it's touchy. And if he is in the Elimination Chamber match, is he guaranteed to win it? Look, I mean, I don't know what I meant. I meant something. If he's in the Elimination Chamber match, I can't think what I meant. If he's in the Elimination Chamber match, how do you know he can actually compete in an Elimination Chamber match? Do you honestly think he can go in an Elimination Chamber match? And here's what I mean. You don't really have enough time to build it if he wins the title in the Elimination Chamber, because then you only have a month and a half to build. And match deserves more build than that. I think if you've got from Survivor Series, because CM Punk cost WWE the title at Survivor Series, costing the Money in the Bank cash in. Can't bring it full circle to WrestleMania 28. 4 months of build between Del Rio and Punk, and altogether what, 8 months? 8 months worth of build for no, 5 months from Survivor Series to WrestleMania, and 8 months worth of build from 9 months of build from Money in the Bank. They did a long haul with John Cena versus The Rock. Why can't they do it with Punk? Anyway, that was my little CM Punk world title booking. That's how I'd do it. Any opinions on the matter, do leave a comment down below. Rate and comment, like I said. Subscribe. I'll catch you later. Peace.